Welcome to practice. Today we're starting our standing balancing series. So we'll start in Ode to the Standing Balancing series, standing at the top of our mats, palms forward, feet fully pressing down into the earth, heart slightly lifted, shoulders dropping, head losing contact with ego as you come into your body, and all the memories that your body holds, all the stories that you have experienced, that you believe to be true, everything coming under the watch of the observer as you drop more and more into your body through pathway of breath. Noticing how your breath slows down time. And maybe even thinking about a time where you were running behind and going into the memory of how you were breathing. Short, shallow, maybe even holding your breath. And how time seemed to speed by, coming so slow now with each lengthened out breath. Opening your eyes, hands sweep up overhead. As your hands come up overhead, take a bind. Temple mudra is all the fingers interlaced, but thumb and index finger. Widen your stance to hip width distance apart, and then just a gentle side bend over to the left, feeling each muscle that wraps the rib cage on the right side start to expand, and maybe even your breath wanting to shorten, but not going that deep into the pose. Keep your side bend and left leg exactly where it is, and take your right knee behind left and plant your toes down for an even deeper side bend. Step your right foot back to center as your fingers reach up to north, straight above, and then side bend over to the right. This time feeling the compression through the right side body, the squeezing of organs. Right foot stays planted, left foot steps behind, planting your toes down and pressing your left hip forward, side bend. Inhale through center, exhale, soft forward as you dive. Soft fold forward as you dive. Halfway lift, fold. Maybe toes come into center to touch. In breath, arms reach forward, hips sink back. Utkatasana, chair pose. Left elbow under right, either a hug or a full eagle arm bind. Pressing down through the feet, straighten your legs. Lift your left knee up, hip height. And kick your heel back, hip height. Hands reach forward and heart parallels with the floor. Whoa, shouldn't look at the video. Drop your back foot down, crescent lunge, eagle arm variation. Back bend. And humble forward, right shoulder, inseam of right thigh. Unwind your hands. Plant your fingers on either side of your front foot. Soften your hips, runner's lunge. Walk your hands forward at the same time, kick your back heel up. Standing split bind. Kick your left heel towards your right glute and reach your right hand back for a grip. Option to find revolved dancers. Left hand comes up. And left hand goes down, releasing from standing split. Both feet step to the top of your mat, halfway lift, and fold. Left hand stays where it is. Right arm reaches up, right knee straightens, and left knee bends. Top hand down, bottom hand up. Right knee bends this time. Both hands down, halfway lift, and fold. Big toes to center. In breath, hands reach forward, hips sink back, Utkatasana. Left elbow under right, eagle arm bind. And if I am doing this again, please don't do it with me if you know we're on the wrong side. I feel like, no, I think that I'm on the right side. Anyways, sinking hips back. And then stand up, nice, strong, and tall. Right knee comes up, hip height. Kick back, warrior three. Crescent lunge, eagle arm bind, back heel or back toes drop. Little back bend here. And then a hinge forward, humbling into interior of left leg. Whew. Release the bind of your hands. Plant your fingers on either side of your front foot. Soften your hips. Walk your hands forward, kick your back heel up. Whew, I don't know if I got it on this side, guys. Stay here, standing split or bind. Left hand comes up to grab right foot. Maybe you come up, lift your gaze, lift your right hand, reverse dancers. And I do believe that that was psychological because that I fell out. Because I just wasn't believing in myself. And then back through standing split. But did you see how I didn't give up on myself? And then both feet come down. Half lift. Fold. Heels widen to outside edges of the mat. Toes track out, 11 and 2. Elbows to interior of thighs, and this is the pose where we're supposed to catch our breath. I do realize that for some of you, it's intense. For me, it's intense. For most everyone, there's some level of intensity here. And we'll reach hands behind us, sit back. Both legs straighten forward. Lifting your heart, press it forward so that your sit bones move back. And plant your palms just at the upper thigh or just a little below where your hip joint is. And then see if you can lift your right heel. Do you feel a lot of back engagement when you try to do that? If your back's engaging, just thinking about how I can do this without using my back. One more time, right heel. So this is 3 times. Okay, left side. 3 times. One side's way easier than the other. Last one. And release. Both heels come down. You could take So for this one, I'll show you what you can do without a block, but if you do have something hard that you can stick under your bottom, your low back, that would be perfect. You'll really appreciate this posture, but if not, you can still move into something similar. So I'll do no block first. Bring your glutes to rest on the back of your hands, and then bring your knees up to your chest and let your legs float up towards the sky, and try not to use a lot of muscular engagement. You just want to be kind of floating there. And if you do happen to have a block, you'll take little bridge, tuck the block at the sacrum. I like it just kind of at the top of the sacrum for me, and then knees come up towards my heart. I need to be a little bit more down on it, because I know when my knees come up towards my heart, I shift off the block slightly. So knees to my heart, and then heels up, soft legs. And I like the block sensation-wise for my low back, because it seems to release a lot of the tight muscles that happen through low back, especially if you're doing a ton of yoga and not a ton of mobility, or taking care of yourself too much. Too much stira, not enough sukha. So this is one way to offer support to your lymph system. This works for the legs. Bringing your arms up overhead, just so they kind of mirror the legs. Wrists are soft. That's going to work to bring blood flow into the heart and start to support you in your rest and digest. I like sometimes to do happy baby on the block. So for me, it's always a juicy little treat to have a block underneath my sacrum while I'm doing happy baby on it, but I know that's not for everybody. So you can stay where you are or take whatever shape you want. And then eventually either closing in that shape, because it is a really nice restorative shape, or coming all the way down onto your back and taking the pose of Shavasana, corpse pose. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.